In this video, I'm going to show you how to adjust the brand style guide to not just document your brand's look and feel, but also to reflect it as a whole with just a few clicks. On the bottom and the thumbnails, you can see how the brand guide currently looks. So this is not our brand, so let's adjust it. We'll just jump in and start with the logos. So those are the main logos, the rectangle logos mainly. One's on a light background, our primary background, and one's on dark background. So to adjust this logo, pretty easy. You just go to uploads and you grab the logo, which is hopefully on your computer. You just grab it and you can just drop it in here. I already added some example logos, of course, not the most beautiful ones, but they will work just to show how it works. So if you want to change this main logo text with your logo, you just grab it and you hover over it, and then you can see it gets added to the fields. The same, of course, for the black one. The second page, we do have some other logo variations, square logos and as well round logos. There is no need for this guide to create a separate rounded logo if you don't need to. This is meant as a preview how your square logo will look if it is rounded, mainly because some platforms do not offer square logos and they only have round logos available, so it's pretty cool to see up front if this will work or not. So you just grab your square logo, hover over it, option 2, just click on it and then it's here. Then you can just grab it, hover over until you see it gets applied. So let's assume you don't really like it. Of course, you always have the option to just double click, make it bigger, make it smaller, so it fits. Well, it did fit better before, but just to show you how it would work. Then, of course, you do the same for the black ones. If you don't want to have the rounded logo, just click on it and then either click on the delete button on your keyboard, or you can use the bin here and say delete the image and then delete the frame, and then it's gone. You remember initially I said we want the guide to reflect our brand. So not just in its color fields, but in the whole sheet. For this, we need to keep a few steps in mind, which are super easy. Let's move this away. So this is the current color palette, which is in per default. Of course, this is not our brand, so let's change it. Your primary background, your main background, is the whole field here in the back. It's not a separate field, and the main reason for this is you can easily see how all your colors look if they are on this background. Let's use something different here. So you just click on the whole field anywhere, and then you choose the color button here on the top. And then we use something like this one, a light blue. You click on it, and then you get a question below here asking change all. Please click yes. Whenever this question applies on the bottom, don't forget to click yes. You can see it on the bottom already. The background of all these pages changed. Don't forget to grab your code and adjust it in here, so whenever you need it for any kind of website, application, whatever, you have it. We have a second background, which we also want to change. We do the same step. Apply something slightly darker here. Yeah, I guess that fits. So same here, we copy this. We make sure we change this. You see, now I forgot. This could happen if you forget to click on the bottom on this button, then you see it didn't change. So what you can do is just go back until it changes back. And then you do the step again. We still have it here. So now let's click on change all, and now you see it got adjusted. So there's always a small check here in the thumbnails on the bottom. You will also change, of course, the border color, the body text, the heading text if needed. And same here, whenever the question applies on the bottom, please say change all. Let's change accent color. Same step, just that we choose something else. Here the question is slightly different. It's asking you current page or all pages. You always choose all. And now you see what happened is that this little accent on the top here changed as well. For those two, they are meant to be variations of your accent color. It could be slightly lighter, a little bit darker, so whatever you need. If you need it, you can fill it the same way. If you don't need it, feel free to just go in and delete what you don't need. Of course, either with the delete button or with the bin. For the rest, I would say we keep it. Fits pretty well. And then we can move on to the next page. With the typography, it's kind of the same. We do want to change it in the whole document. So we choose our font, which is, let's say, for headings. So this is headings. We want to have Anton. Just go in here, choose the big one. So you click on this one, and then you can search for your font, either by typing the name or you just scroll down which one works well. Let's go for Anton. You choose it, and same question, you say all pages. And now you see that all the headings in here changed. As well, your references here changed. What you also see is the only thing Anton has is bold. So even it says regular and semi-bold, it doesn't work. It's just, this is a real bold font. So you can easily see what your font is doing, what options you will have. Then we do the second one, which is not railway. We change this to, let's change it to Arvo. And we change it in all pages. And we change the name up here. And you see all the headings across your brand guide got adjusted. Same as well for the type scale, where you have a kind of example saying, okay, what's the heading title, what's the subtitle, how do they look? The only thing that's left is go through and check if everything is adjusted as it should, if we like it. So we go to the first one and we see that this one has not been adjusted. So we just click in here. And now the good thing is you already see which colors you used in this design. So there is no need to retype your color code every single time. So for this one, yeah, we probably want to have it in a darker gray blue, our second accent color. And this is how you can go through. Close this one for better overview. Of course, you would have used your logos with your background, that it wouldn't look so off. Then you can go through and say, okay, this one I like, everything is fine. The buttons also pretty important to check if this is reflecting what you really want to have. So do you want to have rounded corners, rounded buttons? Do you want to have square buttons with edges? And what's your regular button? So how does it look on the website if it's normal? And how does it look if somebody hovers over it? So you're here and you probably think like, yeah, rounded doesn't really fit my style. I want to have edges. Here are the corners. Click on it. And then you can just make the corner rounding less. And you can make them slightly rounded or absolutely not rounded and square. And the same for the hover. Here, for example, we do have an outline. Now we probably want to have it slightly bigger or smaller. Then we can go on the line and, for example, increase this to 12 and then check. I would say that fits pretty well. No, to be honest, it doesn't. That wouldn't be a brand, but it really helps this way to explain how things work. Of course, your brand guide will look much prettier than this one, what we just adjusted together. You can also just double click, make sure everything is marked, and then just change it to whatever you need. Black, white, or you go for a green. And then, of course, you always need to adjust what's in here for you as a reference. Then you don't have to think about every single time, and your brand is super consistent no matter what you're doing. If you're doing social media, if you have a website, if you're doing any flyers, it's just consistent. The last page is icons. So whatever your brand needs, if you don't have some, this is totally fine. Of course, you can also add pictures or anything, whatever you need to have ready quite often, because what you can do in here is, if you need this one, for example, make a copy and then use it in another design in Canva. It's also, of course, if you want to have it in green, You can mark it in green. And then here it's quite important, if you only want to adjust the icon, do not click all pages because otherwise it will change all the black. This one is the only one where you probably can say current page only. Few minutes later, few clicks later, our brand guide is ready. Therefore, the only thing that's left, I wish you a lot of success with your new business, with your new brand, and be excited to show it to the world.